makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm super excited for this video because it's going to be another Chatty Winesday. I've got my little wine glass here. I've got a glass of rosé and it says mom juice on it, which I think is so cute. I love it. So today I'm going to be using a bunch of eyeshadows from City Grace Cosmetics, probably more on the green side. So I will definitely have each individual shade linked down below along with every makeup product that I use because I'm not going to go super in depth. So for today's Chatty Get Ready With Me, I kind of just had the idea of talking about mom struggles, just because I was thinking about how Sunday is Mother's Day and it's gonna be technically my third Mother's Day, which is crazy, like third Mother's Day as a mother. So my first Mother's Day was like 3 months into my pregnancy and I was so terrified. I was so scared because I've always grown up around kids, and I always, like, in my old church I volunteered to watch kids, and then I had like my little sister. Whenever we adopted her, she was 2, so I got like good experience with that age group, but I never really like took care of any babies, and I only had one experience with a baby, and this is really funny, and this was kind of like, this like took away any baby fever that I would have had in that moment. So there was one time when I was over at my aunt's house and I was watching her baby with my mom, and the baby's name is Alex, and one of my older cousins got sick and my mom had to leave and the baby was sleeping. So she's like, you're good, right? You're fine, like the baby's sleeping. She shouldn't even wake up before I get back, right? So that was the situation. I was confident. I was like, okay, like it's fine, like I'm just, I'm okay. And then like as basically like 5 minutes after my mom walked out the door, the baby started crying. So of course, my luck, Alex had a poopy diaper, and I was like, I can do this. I can do this. I can take care of this. Like, it's gonna be okay. I think she was about 9 months at this point. So I went ahead and I changed her diaper. All was good. All was fine. I think I was getting her milk or something. And I'm sitting there with her and I'm like, did she really just poop again? I'm sorry if this is not like a great conversation topic. But I mean, if you've had a babysitter or anything, I'm sure you know the struggles, or as a mom, because I've definitely had way worse moments now. But I'm like, okay, so she went to the bathroom again, that's fine, I'll change her again. Well, I didn't realize that like if they're going to the bathroom like very close together, that you should kind of just wait it out a few minutes because disaster could strike. So I'm standing there like changing her like on the table or whatever, and she like with no diaper on, no clothes or anything, just starts like explosive poop. Again, I'm sorry, this is like the worst topic, but this was my one experience babysitting. And so I'm like freaking out. The baby starts crying. I'm literally crying. I'm like trying to clean and she just keeps pooping, and like literally there was like poop running from like all the way up like her back. And I call my mom. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm not going to be there for like another 30 minutes. So I'm like, okay, I gotta handle this on my own. So I ended up like running a bath really quickly and kind of just, I don't know, we were both just crying, having a horrible time getting her cleaned up. And then I think what happened, whenever I finally got her all cleaned up, she spit up all over me. And then I walk into the living room, no, the kitchen, and the dog had pooped on the floor. I'm like, this is just not my day. So that was my one experience, and that's what I based. Like, I was like just terrified to have a child. And also like the whole idea of like not sleeping at night, because I used to sleep like 16 hours a night. I used to sleep so much. I wish I could get some of that sleep back. I'm so tired. Basically all the time. Like a good night's sleep for me now is like 5 hours. And it's been the absolute struggle getting my son to sleep in his crib. Sometimes he will, sometimes he won't. It always just depends on the day. But I try my hardest. It's like the whole thing with co-sleeping. It's like once you get them in your bed, you can't get them out. But at the same time, it was kind of like I did what I had to do to make it through those sleepless nights. Which actually, who did I hear this from? I know like in Mexico or something, I can't remember who told me that like the whole like idea is completely opposite than in the United States, that you do co-sleep with your baby. Like there's no like sleeping on their own or whatever, and like everything is just different compared to what they teach in the, like, I know in the United States they're very like not co-sleeping friendly, and they want that baby in their own bed, which I mean I can see both points of view, but I feel like you just have to do whatever you gotta do to survive. But whenever Roman was younger and we would co-sleep, I would always be like super careful, and you know, I wouldn't have a bunch of blankets on the bed or a bunch of pillows or anything. It would just be as safe of an environment as possible. So the story I'm going to tell you guys, I definitely need more wine for, and it might come off a little bit ranty because I'm kind of super frustrated about a certain physician's assistant that my son has been seeing, and I really want to move to a different pediatric clinic because it has just been no bueno. Okay, so there were like several moments that made me like kind of like scratch my head, like honestly, like are you like really like just some like really unintelligent moments that I can think of, which I'm not going to share all of them. I'm just going to like share like the main one that had me kind of upset. Basically, my son did not walk at 12 months, and you know, that's fine, whatever. Like babies have their own like time of doing things. And the person told me, and she was like, well, we really expect them to be walking by 15 months. And so I was literally dreading his 15-month appointment because he still was not walking. And so I went to the 15-month appointment, and I kind of like, I explained to her, I said, okay, he's not walking, but he's very strong. He'll literally push the coffee table, which is like solid wood. He'll push benches, he'll push chairs, he'll walk, he'll do this and that as long as he's holding on to something. I said, I think he's just scared. He's not, like, there's nothing wrong. You know, he just is afraid to take that first step. And you guys, I kid you not, she looked at me and she was like, at this point we recommend physical therapy. I'm like, physical therapy for a 15-month-old? I'm like, he's strong. Like, I was kind of, I'm a very respectful person, so it took a lot for me to kind of just be like, to not go off. I was just like, I'm not comfortable with that yet. I think we should wait till 18 months. Because I'm like, really, for 15 months? And I went and did a ton of research on all the baby sites, and they all say, like, babies can walk from, like, some as early as, like, 9 months all the way to 18 months, not 15. So I'm like, for me, I personally, like, it stressed me out a little bit, but I was like, I was kind of just like, that's stupid. Like, my baby's gonna do it when he wants to. Like, I'm not, like, what can I do? Like, honestly, like, I sit there and I try and walk with him, and he's just stubborn and he's just scared, you know? So I kind of, I think for me, like, I handled it well, and my family was kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I said that, basically, too. So I had, like, affirmations that it was stupid. But I feel like for, like, another, like, new mom who, like, I don't know, I feel like that, like, could really stress someone out. Like, oh, your baby's not working at 15 months, you need to get physical therapy for them. Like, I feel like that could really, like, upset someone, you know? Especially when it's not necessary. So I was really, really frustrated by that whole thing. And I just said, no, I'm gonna wait. Which I just thought it was crazy because I have a thing in my family where our eyes, like, I don't know if you guys can tell. Wait, which eye is it? Okay, it's this one. When I look this way, there's a black line in my eye. Maybe sometimes you see it in my makeup pictures on Instagram or whatever. And that's because I've had eye surgery twice because I had a lazy eye, and my dad had it. My cousin had it. You know, I just have tons of eye problems in my family. And it's something that you want to catch early. So I wanted, because Roman's eyes crossed, I wanted originally, I think I asked about 9 months. I was like, can I get a referral to an optometrist so that, you know, I can get his eyes checked out? And she's like, oh, I don't know, like, blah, 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 like making excuses, basically, like he's not old enough, whatever. And so I waited, and then the next one at 12 months, I was like, no, I really want it. So I got it, and it was literally 5 months in advance to get that appointment. Like, it was in May, and then something came up last minute, I had to cancel, and now that appointment is not till October. So he will almost be 2 years old by the time he gets that appointment, which is crazy. because I had my first eye surgery at 18 months and he's almost there, so I really want to get his eyes checked out just to be, you know, on the safe side. But it was just crazy that she was so like, she didn't want to do that for something that like has been a problem in my family, but she wanted to do physical therapy. So like I said, sorry if this is a little ranty, but I just thought the whole thing was crazy. And I can luckily give you guys an update today because something really cool happened. My son loves to walk on a walker and everything, and about last week he started standing up on his own, and it was really exciting, really fun. And I've just been like, normally I give him like a little ball or something and he'll sit there and he'll throw it and he'll kind of squat and go back up, whatever. So we're like, okay, he's moving on to the next phase, you know, he's gonna walk soon. But I just didn't see it happening because it's taking forever for him to walk. And today, which it was kind of crazy that it was today because he's definitely not at his best, I got him down for his nap super late and he was tired and grouchy and he was walking, and I just kind of let go, and he just, because I normally hold on to him, and he just kept going, and he took like 8 steps out of nowhere and he just started walking. So he didn't need physical therapy and he is now walking. And so like the next like hour or so, I was kind of, before he went to bed, just messing with him with food, going back and forth, and I got him to walk a few more times, and I'm like, he's gonna be running next week. So I just, maybe it's petty, but I just can't wait to go back, because I think I'm gonna go back one more time just to get like his medical records and everything, because I'm like I said, I'm trying to find someone new because I'm really not happy with the lady there. And like, yeah, he's walking, didn't need physical therapy, but thanks for the not needed stress, you know. So, and then another thing that I'm kind of like kind of just annoyed about is that I have been teaching my son sign language because I've seen online that it's supposed to be really good. You know, it's supposed to like basically give them the ability to communicate before they can communicate with words. And when I went to his 15-month appointment, she was like, is he saying anything right now? And I said, well, he says mama. And I said that, you know, he doesn't really talk as much, but I'm teaching him sign language. And she was like, well, is there a reason you're teaching him sign language? Like, I guess asking if there's someone deaf in the family or something, which, I mean, I guess is a good thing to ask. But when I kind of explained, no, like, I just heard that it's really good to teach kids and that it gives them the ability to, like, you know, just communicate before they're ready. And she was like, you're encouraging him to be nonverbal. I'm like, he's always been a quiet kid to begin with. Like, even when he was like an infant, he barely like made that much noise other than crying when he was hungry. Like, that was it. And I'm like, I think it's really amazing. Like, he knows, which I don't speak sign language. I've just been learning a little bit as it goes, but he knows milk, he knows more, he knows bye. He used to do all gone like this all the time. He loved all gone. He would literally throw things on the ground, and then because he couldn't reach them, he would go all gone. And he knows a few other things. I just can't think of them right now because I'm awful at remembering things. But I've been teaching him, and she said I was encouraging him to be nonverbal. I'm like, and she's like, there's not really anything we can do if they don't speak or if they don't talk enough or something along those lines. And I'm like, yeah, because you can't rush a child to do what you want them to do. Like, just let him grow at his own time, you know? Like, it's just, the whole thing is frustrating. I'm like, I know what's best for my kid. Like, if you want to give me advice, like, if he's sick, if he has a fever, if he has this or that, like, totally appreciate it. But for like how to raise him and how to teach him things, like, I don't want your advice, no offense. Okay, just one more story to complain about, but this one is pretty crazy, and it might not necessarily be the doctor's, it might not be her fault, but also could be. I don't know. I'm kind of annoyed at the whole medical system, okay? So today I'm going to try the hyaluronic based prismatic blurring surface finisher. I got this in my Beautylish Lucky Bag, and then I saw someone talking about it saying it was amazing. And I was like, dang, I own that. I should probably give it a try. But so babies are supposed to have vitamins, right? Like that's just a thing that you do. Even like when I was like breastfeeding my son, they said, you know, like they still need like vitamin D and whatnot. So I think that's what the vitamin was. But anyways, once he turned 1, he got a different vitamin and she gave me the prescription for it. Well, I went to get the prescription, right? And I went to like the Walmart pharmacy, and mind you, I do have insurance for healthcare, so I'm like, I'm sitting in line, I tell them like, you know, I'm picking it up for blah 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 blah, and they're kind of like checking it out, and they're like, are you aware of the price? And I'm thinking like maybe $20, like it's just vitamins, like how much could it be? And I'm like, no, how much is it? And they're like, $938. I'm like, wait, what? Like what? Like, you know the meme, I will insert him here, like the guy who's like, he like does a blinky thing, like that was literally me. Like I was like, and I was like, do you have my insurance information? And they're like, have you picked something up for him before? And I'm like, no. And so I had to go through, do the whole like process, giving them my insurance and everything. And so I do that, and they're like, yeah, it didn't bring the price down at all. It's still $938. And so they're like, let us talk to the main pharmacist or something, see if there's anything we can give you in place of that, you know, that anything that's cheaper, basically. So I'm waiting, and they're like going through stuff, and they're like, there's nothing else we can give you. You know, you're gonna have to call your doctor and get them to, you know, prescribe you something else for your son, because it's, you know, or you can pay $938. I was like, there's no way I'm paying $1,000 for some vitamins. Like vitamins that would only last like 3 months. So basically what I went ahead and did was I went down the aisles of the different, you know, like medicine and vitamins and everything, and I found the exact same brand I used to get like from the TRICARE pharmacy when I lived in Texas. And they had the one that like I used to get for my son, like just the plain vitamin D, and then they had the next one up for toddlers, and it was $9. So I just bought that, and that's what I've been giving him, and I'm calling it a day. Like yeah, so it was a whole thing. Like I just like literally for a week I was just like $1,000. Like it's crazy for, it was crazy for $1,000 for vitamins. But what I kept thinking about was like for the people who like need their medicine to survive, it's just crazy that companies can like make it whatever price they want, and you have to pay that, because what else are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna die, or are you gonna pay like a crazy high price for your medicine? Like it's just, the whole system is so ridiculous. Part of me is like, man, that tripped. Like part of me is like, I kind of want to make a snarky comment whenever she asks me next time, like, you know, like, are you giving him his vitamins? And I'm like, yeah, I'm giving him the vitamins I picked out, because the ones you prescribed were $1,000. But also, I know that's not the right thing to do. I should be respectful even if I don't like her. And I should, I don't know if she knew how much they were, but she should know. Like, if you're sitting there prescribing them, like, you should know that it is $1,000. That is just, I can't get over it. I was like, I told my parents, I was like, even if I was rich, I would not pay $1,000 for vitamins. Like, no, that's crazy. My dad was like, those vitamins better turn him into a superhero. It's just crazy. Like, for me, like, I feel like my son gave me so much self-worth and self-confidence. And I mean, there's still things that I struggle with, but I feel like people always say, like, you can't love someone else until you love yourself. And I think, like, sometimes that can be true, like, in relationships. But, like, with my son, like, I feel like loving him, like, was literally almost like a high. Like, especially when we, like, I first had him and everything, like, I literally felt like my life, like, even though everything was, like, falling apart, like, everything about my son, I was just, like, I just couldn't believe how amazing, like, just he was. And I feel like loving him, like, taught me, like, to love myself in a way, a new kind of love, you know, which I'm not trying to say if you have self-confidence problems, go have a baby, because that's not the answer. But for me, it's just been a huge blessing. especially like, I don't know, especially affirmations from other people, because I mean, I struggle, like I have hard days and everything. And there are days, like especially being a single mom, like whenever, like he sleeps better now, but like when he was sleeping really bad, like there were just days when I'd be like, why God, like why am I so alone, like doing this on my own and everything, like it just sucks. But you know, it's just, it's kind of like humbling and everything, but for people to say that you're an inspiration or you're strong or whatever, like just from what you're doing and just from like basically surviving, doing what you have to do, I don't know, I feel like it's a cool thing. Like my grandma, my Nana, I call her my little Nana because she's short, and then I call my big Nana because she's tall. It's kind of a funny thing. But my little Nana, like every time she sees me, she's always like, you're such a good mom, like I always knew you would be a good mom, but you're such a good mom. And I feel like it's such a simple thing, but it like just, it means so much, you know? Like I feel like any mom probably who's just struggling and having a hard time being told you're a good mom is like everything. I feel like one of the like main struggles, like from being a mom but not technically relating to mothering, is just like body confidence. Like I feel like it's kind of been the struggle. Like there are times like when I felt really good, and especially like my favorite thing to say is like, you created a human, you created a life, like it is okay, like it's all good, like it's fine, really, like you have time, you know, you, no matter like if you ever get to your weight goal or your fitness goal or anything like that, like you created a life, and that is an amazing thing to do. So that's my go-to pep talk. But I just feel like losing weight is so hard, and like I don't know, I always grew up and I was always like skinny and I was like super thin, so I feel like I never understood the struggle of like just not being happy in your body. Like for me now, it's like just like my stomach, like uterus area where everything was stretched out. Like every time I have a big meal or anything, like it looks like I'm like 4 months pregnant again. No, 4 months, like 6 months, because it took me forever to gain weight when I was pregnant. But I don't know, it's the absolute struggle, and I'm like, I'm trying to be active, I'm trying to eat okay. Like eating is the problem, because it's not like I go out of my way to eat like bad things or anything, but I really like sweets. That's my problem. If there's sweets in the house, I'm gonna eat them. That's something I struggle with, but I feel like overall I've been trying really hard and just not seeing any results or anything. Okay, not seeing any results. Well, I lost like 30 pounds since last year, but it's just been a plateau since then. And I kind of actually had the thought today, and you guys can let me know if any of you have been on Nexplanon, which is like the birth control that's in your arm. I don't know if you guys can see, I have like a little line here from it, which I've been on for like a little bit since my son was born, which I technically don't need to be on because I don't need to be on it. But I've just had it in there because I've been too lazy to go to the doctor or whatever, and it like stopped my menstrual cycle completely, which is like a blessing. So I just haven't taken it out, but I've heard people say that Nexplanon makes them gain weight, and if you guys have had that experience, please let me know. So I was kind of like dabbling with the idea of getting it taken out today. Well, not today, like just in the future, like soon, and seeing if that helps, because there's no real reason for it to be in there. It's not, I have no use for birth control right now. I'm as single gets, so I don't know. I'm kind of like hoping that that might be the problem, that I could take that out and it'll make it better, because like I'm just trying to be active, and sometimes I go a little crazy on the sweets, like I said, but it's frustrating. I feel like being pregnant and like losing weight, which I've lost since having my son, I think I've lost like 50 pounds, but I feel like the whole entire thing gave me a whole new, like, I guess kind of like a whole new perspective on losing weight, because whenever I was skinny, I used to think like, oh, if I was, you know, like, if I was bigger or whatever, I would just easily, like, I would just go to the gym, or I would work out or whatever, I would eat right, like I would do whatever it takes, you know. Like I thought it was just like a simple thing, like I guess it was like truly just ignorance, like it really was. And it's really not that easy, because I like am living the most active lifestyle ever. Like I'm so active now, and like I'm not doing long distance running like I was for a few weeks. Like there were weeks there where I was like running like 6 miles every night or whatever on the treadmill. Now I'm just doing like 2 miles a day, and I'm just trying to, you know, I'm just trying to be good. But it doesn't make a difference. Like nothing is changing, so it just gave me a whole like new perspective on like things aren't just as easy as they might seem. You know, things are hard. Losing weight is hard, unfortunately, which is obvious. Like obviously everyone would lose weight if it was easy. Okay, please no one shoot me. Jaclyn Hill tweeted a thing the other day, and everyone got mad, everyone disagreed, everyone was like upset with her. And maybe I took it differently than everyone else, but what it just sounded like was that she appreciates when someone like works really hard for their body instead of just getting like butt implants or boob implants or whatever, like someone who works out to achieve the body that they want. And I agree, like I think that's an awesome thing. Like that's so cool. Like I'm not body shaming whatsoever. Like I think all bodies are beautiful. But it is really cool to see someone work super hard and be able to achieve their goals, which is what I think that she meant, and everyone was really upset about it. So I just didn't even pay attention because I just thought it was stupid drama. But I agree, like I feel like it's really cool to see people who, you know, work out and do what they need to do. And wow, that highlight shade is really pretty. Okay, so I have something pretty exciting to talk about. At least exciting to me, but also kind of crazy. So I don't know if you guys have heard of P. Louise. They're a makeup academy in England, and they're really talented. I can leave like some pictures of like stuff that they've done, and they like have a really active Instagram, and they post their looks all the time, and they are just like literally so stunning. So they recently came out with a palette, which I can leave a picture on screen of as well, and I thought it was really pretty, and I kind of went back and forth on deciding whether to buy it or not, and then I finally just went ahead and got it, and just I wanted to try their eye primer as well, so I just went with it, even though it was a struggle. I'll talk whenever I get it. I'll talk more in the video about like currency and like, oh man, I really hope I don't have to pay customs or anything like that, because I never buy anything from overseas. And it was a struggle as far as how much I had to pay, but I'm really excited about that. And the order actually finally shipped. It was like a pre-order, like I literally had to order it like a month in advance, which I don't mind as long as they let you know that it's a pre-order, because I have another company which I'll talk about soon, which I ordered something and it literally took 40 days to ship, which I thought was really insane. So anyways, P. Louise, very excited about it, and because I made the order, they sent me like a link and like a password so that I could watch one of their like makeup application demos. And you guys, I learned so much. Like I was surprised. Like it was like 3 hours long, and I watched like almost all of it, and it was like actually really cool, really inspiring. Like I got some new brushes I want to try, and I learned some new techniques, and how they do their primer. They say pitter pat pat. So I feel like I did learn a lot. And so basically they came out with this thing called the Ultimate Masterclass, right? And it's a class in July, and it's like 100 euros. Don't even make me convert that to US dollars because it's crazy. And then shipping was like 40 euros. Again, broke my heart. But it's a class, and you get to see, I think, 2 looks or 3 looks. And they're going to send you the, like, new P. Louise products in advance. I don't know why, I just couldn't help it. I was like, I'm going to learn so much. And I'm going to get, I know that, like, she promised that there was going to be a palette in the pack. So I'm like, I'm going to get a new palette. Hopefully it's something I like. If it's not something I like, I'm going to be so mad at myself for paying the amount of money that I paid. But also at the same time, I'm like, I'm getting a class, like I'm learning from like an actual makeup artist and everything who do really cool eye looks. So I ordered that on my birthday. It was my birthday gift to myself, and I'm very excited about it, but also nervous, and just I don't know. Like I said, it was a little bit of a crazy price, which I mean, I guess we'll see if it's worth it. Hopefully I get my products before there's the show or the class, because they actually said like you can, you know, they're sending you everything you need for the class, so you could like have a live model ready. If you're gonna do it on someone else, you could be ready to do it whatever. And the day is just some day in July. I don't know what's gonna happen that day. I could end up being with my son and not being able to watch it live whenever they do it, which I really want to watch it live, but they said you have 14 days to watch the class and complete it and whatever else. So I'm very excited about it. Hopefully it was worth the money. I thought, you know, I could definitely do a video that's like, I paid for a P. Louise class. Was it worth the money? Because I will definitely let you know. Especially like the whole like goodie bag and everything. I don't know. I'm excited about it, but nervous. I'm going to go ahead and take Blue Ice this time from the Moonchild kit. I think I'm just going to put that under my brow bone. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I don't think I've ever used this on my eyes yet. In case you guys are curious, on my face for blush and bronzer, I used the Butter Collection palette from Physicians Formula. I ended up getting the shade Medium Deep because I already own the bronzer and the blush from the Light palette, and these two highlighter palettes are the same in both, so I just figured I would just go ahead and get the darker one. And then even though it's not deep at all, like this is like, I was able to use the deep bronzer for my skin and I'm like the fairest of the fair, so it's not deep. But then they also have the perfume, which I like, but I'm not crazy about. It's okay, but I feel like the actual butter bronzer smells much better. Actually, let me just compare this. Yeah, the perfume has a very vanilla, like almost like added a little bit of floral scent to it, and the bronzer just smells like coconut goodness. Like I can't even smell coconut in the perfume, so I'm disappointed by the perfume smell. It's not bad, but it's just not my favorite. But I've never tried the actual butter highlighter formula before, so I'm excited for that. I think I'm just gonna go in with the Full Moon, just like the light goldy shade. Woohoo. The other one I don't think I would use on my face, but I think it would be a beautiful eyeshadow, highlighter, whatever. I'm actually kind of curious because I saw Kathleen Light's video on this and she mixed the gold and the pink together, so I think I'm just going to do that a little bit. Hopefully it's not too dark. Guess we'll see. I'm just going to go ahead and spray myself with a Pacifica Coconut Essence Hydro Mist. Okay, so speaking of coconut, in case any of you guys are coconut lovers like I am, I love the smell of coconut. I mentioned this on, I think I posted on my Instagram story. I got these Ulta Beauty Juice Infused Lip Oil. It actually was like a free gift with purchase or something, and I have it on my lips right now. It's kind of soaked in. They have different smells. I have a rose one, which I haven't even opened or smelled yet, but this one is coconut. And it smells delicious. It smells just like the Marc Jacobs bronzer. I love this. I love this so much. It's just a plain old lip oil. It's great. It's clear. I've been wearing it a ton, and I know that I've got foundation on my lips, but I feel like my lips aren't as crusty as normal. Maybe I'll do this shade. So this is a Stila liquid lipstick in the shade Serenata. Okay, so that is everything for today's Chatty Winesday. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.